me. That's crazy. I like that. That's very mature. Cybernetic fart.
Yep. So yeah, shout out to Bill Bentley or Z Gillard or Cyberneticshark or the Cyberneticshark imitation things on Letterboxd recently. Huge shout out to the Frankie if you're listening, Frankie. Nice try, bro. Have fun.
I'm telling you, that one time, I haven't seen it lately on YouTube, but that one time on YouTube, I found people actually like that called you the one person called you a racist or whatever.
Yep.
Made a video about how you were a racist. Did you ever see that?
No, I never saw it. You told me about it though.
Yeah, it was you. They had the video of you. And something you were saying was racist. It's like you think they would go after me for being a racist of all people, not you.
Yep.
Because you could basically accuse me of anything. I said so much shit before that I would hate it if somebody actually went back and looked through our shows and shit. I said some crazy shit. So what's up, Andres Pop Culture Guy? You ready to moderate this fucking show tonight? And cover some Penguin and some Daryl Dixon? What's up?
Yeah. So let's start this now. Hello, everyone. My name is Andreas Pop Culture Guy. Today, me, Cyber, and whoever his name is, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff? Yeah, Jeff.
Whoever his name is.
Mr. Whatever is here today to review The Penguin, Episode 5, and Daryl Dixon, Season 2, Episode 4. Well, me and him are going to review Daryl Dixon, Season 2, Episode 4, where the three of us, the three amigos, are going to review The Penguin, Episode 5, right now. So, gents, how you doing? How's life?
Good.
Fantastic.
Okay. All right, awesome. Well, very good. So,
I went to my yearly appointment at my doctor's today, and I got my weight up to 168 pounds from when I was really skinny.
ooh.
You know, when I was having those problems with my Adderall, and I couldn't get it, and I was getting it, and couldn't get it, and all that shit. And I lost weight. I got my weight up to 168 pounds. I'm happy. It's a lot better. I feel a lot more healthy. I was all the way down to 154, 152 at one point. It was bad. You guys saw my pictures. You saw my pictures in Jamaica. I was thin.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations, sir.
Yeah. And I only have one STD on my STD test. It wasn't just one. That's all.
Oh, I don't know about that. That doesn't work, but okay. I mean, whatever.
Sometimes when I go in to get checked, I have multiple STDs. I've got more than one. You know what I mean going on? So they got to treat me with more than one STD.
Oh my god! And they give you an STD shot. I'm kind of curious now.
Yeah. They worked out a deal with Boba Fett. They got the STD shot. You know.
I thought they got the Bacta tank.
The Bacta.
They got the Bacta tank at my doctor now. They worked something out with Boba. They got the Bacta tank there. So now I do my Bacta there at the doctor's office instead of at home.
Anyway.
Okay. Where's Boba Fett season 2, bitch? I'm waiting for it.
No, we don't need Boba Fett. We don't need too many Star Wars shows. Just give us the movies and that's it. I think they should have made a movie about Boba Fett. Anyway, so question, guys, what's your feelings right now with the Penguin? Good, great. What you thought about this episode 5? I think it's still great show. This episode was really awesome. I could consider this as a filler episode because of just we're kind of setting up the big gang war between the Ramones and the Gianti together now going against Oz, and of course you got Oz doing his new drug, the Bliss, as it's called. What you guys' opinions on episode 5 before we get into the whole episode? Starting with you, Jeff.
If I had Bliss, if Bliss was real, I would do some during the live stream. I would do Bliss. You know, I would do it. If I would, seriously, why not? You know, if it was a real thing, I would do it But unfortunately, Bliss is not real, and so that's not a possibility. But the Penguin's great. It's really great. I mean, hey, it's past the mid-season point of the series. The whole show, the whole production of it, the whole from the non-intro where they don't have the intro, they just drop the Penguin, thumbnail basically right on the screen. From that to like those dope ass end credit scenes they have, the credits that they do. The soundtrack is great. I don't like that. That song they had from the Police. That ga 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 do whatever. I fucking hate that song. I hate that song. That's like the worst song ever that actually ever got like how that single ever took off. I have no idea, but probably because it was just from the Police, so it came out. But yeah, the whole show is really good. It's really well produced, and it's really well filmed. It's got great energy, great characters, great main characters. A lot of diversity in terms of the story, in terms of the storytelling and the storyline of the show. A lot of diversity, a lot of side quests with characters and stuff like that going on that are all coming to fruition now really quickly in the show. So yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised. I had no idea that the Penguin would be this good.
Yeah.
Even the filler episodes are really, 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 really watchable and really, really entertaining. It keeps you on your feet. The show does. The action is very low key. It's very low key. And, so there isn't a lot of suspense really, but it still keeps you on your toes because there's so much going on, that you become invested in the characters very easily. And once you become invested in the characters, it just, what, did my shit get fucked up?
No, it's me. Offline, I don't become Iceman. But continue, sir. Continue.
No, I'm done. It's just really really well-rounded TV series, and hats off to Matt Reeves. And the other producers, they did a great job, and hopefully they'll keep the show going for a long time because it's really good. I love the fact that it's for HBO, so it's an hour long every week.
Yeah.
It's a lot of content to take in. I enjoy that. I like the 1 hour episodes. It's a good amount of time. As opposed to like Rings of Power was like too long at times. Too long the episodes were. They were an hour plus. It was ridiculous, man. It was like the House of the Dragon season 1. They had like the hour and 20-minute episodes in season 1 of the House of the Dragon. That shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of TV. An hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes. I like the hour. That's one thing I like about Max, about HBO, is I like the hour-long episodes they have for all their shows. It's really cool. The Penguin makes me want to go watch other HBO shows. Just because it's so good. He did go Iceman.
Oops, he went Iceman.
I know. Okay,
there you go.
I'm better now. I'm better now.
That was a good Iceman picture, though, Andres. That was a good picture of you, Iceman.
No, I know. I will rewatch it. I will rewatch the show to see how good that picture was. Anyway, so no, I agree with you, Jeff. I mean, I like season 1 of House of Dragon. I think their pacing was good. It was just the time jump that was like so like crazy. It was like, oh my god, like the age range and all that.
Which one? There was 3 time jumps in that first season.
I know. Well, that's the thing. It's been a while for me. I watched the first season. I think it's the midpoint when we like episode 6 is where we did another I don't know. The time jump were crazy that first season.
There, at one point, there's that one big jump where it's like 10 years or whatever, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when they brought in all the actual adult actresses to play the characters.
Exactly, for the first time. Yeah. It was crazy that time jump, but it was still a great show. I think it was a great first season to get people back for the Game of Thrones universe. I cannot say anything about the Rings of Power. I mean, just you have to make the characters like fun for us to like them and like care about them. No matter how good or evil they are. That's something that the Penguin is doing very well. Cyber, what's your thoughts on episode 5 and just in general the show?
In general, the show, I absolutely love the Penguin. It has been one of my favorite shows of the year. It is fantastic every single episode. Each episode has great thought process, great acting out, great accomplishments, delivering the story further, and it has just been a real fun ride this whole season so far. Overall, on the 5th episode itself, I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a really solid episode. I didn't feel it was a filler episode. I definitely felt that it was continuing on and decent, and I thought that it carried the storyline just perfectly. So, because for fillers, I feel is when it goes to a backstory like last episode where he gave us a backstory. That's a little bit more filler than this episode was. This one took the story further and showed you where Oz was going, where Sophia was going, where Falco or Moroni was going. So it definitely didn't feel like a filler episode. But overall, really solid episode and series so far.
Yeah, no, I agree, Cyber. Yeah, that's true. I guess I'm very impressed that for last week they did a really good job of making it great, because 9 out of 10 when we watch these shows, like the filler episodes are like literally the worst things in this season, particularly if you guys watch regular TV like us over the years. But yeah, so let's get into the episode here. So pretty much after escaping the nightclub, Oz and Victor are alive. They survive, and of course they're burning the car that Oz had in the street, while Victor is
Did we lose him again?
Looks like it.
Yeah. I'm just a pop culture guy, sir. Your shit's fucked up. Your Wi-Fi's fucked. What's up? Uh-oh.
Iceman.
This is a filler episode right now of the Bleeding Edge Report.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. And thank you for interrupting, you motherfucker. Bam. Anyway, thanks to you for that. This is not a filler episode, okay? This is the action. This is the acclaimed show that is the Monday Report. It is not filler, you doofus. And Daryl Dixon is filler.
No, we're back. We're back to filler, sir. Look, we got it at midpoint. He's pointing at me like at midpoint.
That's hilarious.
God damn it. God damn it, my internet. Anyway, let me keep going.
Iceman.
Anyway. So the Oz and his henchmen kidnapped, the son of the Marone, Chech, whatever his name is, forces Salvatore and the wife to make an exchange. Now, he will return, Chech to the family if they return the mushroom shipment to him, which the wife took from Oz from last episode. So they reluctantly agreed to these terms. On his way out of the prison, Oz sees the news report see the news on the Falcone's death. That was pretty much addressed from last episode. Pretty much after that, we see Sophie again among the few survivors at this day. Sophie is questioned by the police chief from the first the Batman. That was really cool. He cameo here over the events and where Johnny.
This is a new. We've never had this happen before. We've never had anybody before actually moderate and like have bad Wi-Fi and like have them go in and out during their dialogue.
I think we have had that happen though before, at least 1 or 2 times before this. I feel.
Oh well, I guess if you're having bad Wi-Fi or something like that, you don't know really,
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry. Hopefully this time is good. Anyway, so did you guys what part that you guys were left off for me when I became Iceman again? Just
you hadn't finished yet.
Okay, so I was up to after Sophie is questioned by the police chief from the Batman that we saw from 2022. It was great to see him there. He had a cameo, and he's asking about where the whereabouts of Johnny Feel, but she deflects to any question. So, but we get to reveal that he's held hostage underneath the Von Cohn family cemetery, with Sophie torturing him to gain access of Von Cohn's stash of money. So let me stop here before I become again Iceman. Hopefully not. Jeff, tell me about the beginning and up to the part where we got the reveal that Johnny is alive and that Sophie is torturing him for access of the money from her father's. Go ahead.
Yeah, the introduction of the episode was really well done. It was really well done. It goes right to the Penguin to start off, and I really enjoyed it. I love the energy of it. It felt like it came right off of episode 4. Like bam, like here's episode 5, and it just throws you right in there with the Penguin, right? So I loved the dynamic between the Penguin and what's his name? His main guy.
Vic.
I love their dynamic. It's great. On screen, it's great. The actor that plays Vic is great. He's really good as Vic. Great energy, and I loved the scene at the house at the Melroni residence with the police chief and all that was really good. I love the screen presence that what's her name has the daughter.
Sophie.
I love Sophie's. I love her screen presence is really like enveloping. It's really there. Like it's very dominating. You can't help yourself but be focused on her when she's on screen. She's very attractive, which doesn't makes it really easy to look at her. But that's pretty much it about the opening. I didn't really have much else.
Okay, Saber. The beginning up to the Johnny being revealed to be alive and Sophie torturing him. Go ahead.
The beginning of the episode is really strong. Get you back into the story where we left off in episode 3, after Penguin flees the scene when he was about to be killed by the Maronis, and after getting that great episode of Sophia's history, her origin. We get kind of the beginning of the after effects of what happened at the end of the last episode, her killing her, pretty much the rest of the family and so forth. And, we get some really interesting kind of like tall tale signs showing that Sophia is definitely going in a completely different direction than, what we were expecting. And, basically we get kind of, that like whole cops showing up sequence, them popping up there. We got Penguin basically kind of dealing with some after effects of things that happened the previous episode, trying to figure out things, get his mom safe and stuff like that. And we get a really good introduction that moves the story along really well, and it doesn't convolute it. It doesn't make it any less important as the previous 4 episode. It actually makes it feel very exciting, very enjoyable, and leads us up to a really great point there. And I think that the whole beginning was just done super well, and a great start off from the previous episode.
Yeah, no, I agree. Great beginning. I think this was always great. I mean, Colin Farrell, great actor. He's just killing it this episode, and the other supporting characters like Sophie and Vic have been really good. Yeah, I agree. The great thing about HBO and a lot of the shows is like they have the hour and the time to develop their storylines, which is good. And I wouldn't say like some shows can do it under like 45 minutes. I mean, but sometimes like a show, like particularly Disney Plus, when they're dealing with way too many characters and way too many storylines, they do need like an hour long. So, but unfortunately, they're Disney. But anyway, so getting back to the whole episode. So while Ozgan is worried about the death of the Falcons because they seen this in the TV, Oz considers this as an advantage as Sophie did the work for them, so they don't have to worry about that family. They just need to worry about the Maroons. So he then assigns. So Penguin assigns, or Oz, whatever. So Penguin assigns Victor to take care of his mother, Frances. Disappointing Victor, but he agrees and he will do everything he can to protect her. Great soldier. Great character. So after that, Oz arrives at the warehouse to meet with Salvatore's wife so he can exchange the son with the mushrooms, right? And he has his henchman Mikey tried to kill Sal in prison. We saw it before he left the prison. He knew one of the guards to kill Sal in the prison. While this happens, simultaneously when the drop off of the son happens, chases safely to the mom, and she unfortunately this was like a trap. So the doors are locking the warehouse, and gunfight ensures. But it culminates when Oz lights. This is really cool. It was weird that the kid was so wet and like I don't know, like Oz was torturing him with water, but I never realized that he actually put gasoline on the kid. So Oz lights his lighter and pretty much put them into flames, and they pretty much dead by that, which is crazy. But however, the fire activates the chemical fire extinguisher sprays, forcing Oz to take quickly the car with the mushrooms and leave for his base. So after that, he discovers that nearly all the mushrooms die, which is crazy, and just leaving him with just 2 small buckets of unstable product. So, which is very now even more pressure for him, but even more pressure to complicate matters. Guess what? Salvatore Marori, he's not dead. He calls Oz and he tells him that he survived from the assassin attempt and he will kill him. This part was very funny. The fact that he escaped from Blackgate. You think this should be national news that Salvatore Murray escaped from Blackgate. That's the one. One nitpick I would say about this episode is that the fact that he escaped. You think that the police and Gotham will, put this priority of like a manhunt against this fugitive, but we'll see if that's going to be addressed in next episode. Or look, Gotham City is corrupt. Sophie can easily back down the police, and that Karma or Salvatore is pretty much dead, and they don't know if he made it alive or not. But we'll see how they address this. So he escaped from Blackgate. He threatens Oz's life. In return, Oz teases that he should call his wife, which, man, best bird ever from the show. I thought that's the best bird. Sorry for that pun there, Burn. Anyway, after that, Oz gets to Victor to take his mother into the hiding place, which is Crown Point. So Victor takes her to the old apartment in Crown Point. That was one of his friends that we saw in early episodes that he got killed by Sophie in the first episode. Pretty much the neighborhood where Victor grew up in that heavily damage of the floods in the Batman. Let me stop there. So let me start with you, Cyber, first. So fuck you. Anyway, fuck you. Who I'm talking to? Oh yes, Cyber, my man, not nobody, Mr. Nobody. Anyway, Jeff, nobody, true knowledge. Anyway, so give me your opinion on the whole uh Oz and his crew trying to exchange the sun up to the point where Vic takes the mom into the neighborhood that he was once lived. That was in Crown Point. Go ahead.
So in this, section, we get a really good idea of where Oz is trying to go, where, Penguin's trying to, really establish himself as kind of the new kingpin in town. And, we get that, great sequence where he negotiates, kidnapping the son and, basically, saying, hey, I'll trade you the drugs for the son. And of course, that little beginning sequence where he's getting the tattoo was absolutely a little hilarious because he was like, they were watching the TikTok video of him and then automatically goes right to that. It was super hilarious. Forgot to mention that. And then they're like chasing him to grab him. Stuff like that was really fun. And I loved how Penguin's sidekick there, how he was trying to go like this and stuff like that, trying to fight him, was kind of cracking me up. And finally he starts punching him. I was like, wow, there he has some balls. He has some balls. He's doing a good job. But anyways, so yeah, definitely, Penguin going to the prison, talking with, Maroni and his wife there, and saying that he'll trade, was a really great scene. I like that. I thought it was really done well. Very well played by Colin Farrell, and then leading to the actual exchange, which was really done well as well. Where basically, when the sun comes out and he's dripping, I was thinking what the fuck was happening to him? Was he being waterboarded? I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why is he wet? And I'm thinking to myself, well, it definitely looks like they were torturing him or something like that, but who knows? And so I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, definitely something's going on here. He's not just gonna hand him over all willy nilly. Especially, this is the Penguin. He's gonna have something up his sleeve. And so, having his mouth taped shut, and the mother's like, let his mouth down and shit like that. And I was like, okay, what's so funny, Jeff?
I'm watching a Crackheads Gone Wild video.
Okay. He's not Marnery, so just continue, sir. Just ignore him. Jeff, mute yourself.
I was trying to figure out what he was laughing at. I was like, what the hell is so funny?
I thought like he was high. I thought he's seeing us in this distorted image. I was like, whoa, look at Andreas. He's maybe a banana.
Maybe. I thought maybe that a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, when he came out like that, I was like, interesting. So as they're exchanging and stuff like that, I thought was, really well, played out, very well acted, very well choreographed. And when he actually lights them on fire, I was like, damn, that's awesome. I'm like, Oz really becoming the big one here, man. He's badass. And both of them going up in fire was just so freaking cool. Because the actress that played the wife, she's been around for years. She's a great actress, but at the same time, her voice annoys me. I find it irritating. I can't stand her talking. And so I was kind of like, oh, okay, I'm glad they got rid of her. But when after that happens, and then Maroni himself calls Oz to let him know he survived being stuck, which that scene in the prison cell was freaking awesome. That one guy coming out of nowhere and stabbing him, I was like, what the hell? I'm like, this is awesome. And him, his call and to say that he survived, and basically kind of yelling at him and shit like that. He's like, and then Oz is like, why don't you call your wife and ask and see if she picks up? Was freaking the piece de la roche. It was so freaking awesome. I absolutely loved it. And after knowing what happened to her and the son, and I thought that was really done well. And I forgot to mention the whole kind of interrogation of Sophia with what was his name again? Bill.
Police chief Bill, something like that.
No, the only surviving person she didn't kill in the house.
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny. And that sequence there was very interesting too, when she's like kind of torturing himself. That has him all strapped up and shit. That was really cool, and like totally like showing how she's really altered and changed, and how she's really showing her true colors coming out. She's becoming more and more like the moniker she was given, the Hangman type of deal, except for she hasn't hung anybody. But definitely I thought that scene was done really well as too. So I mean, up to this point, great action, great story, everything's been fantastic. Penguin himself panicking a little bit, and so that was done really well, and I thought Colin Farrell just did a great job all in all. Really fantastic portion of the episode, really done well.
No, I agree. Jeff, sir, now is your turn. So focus. So up to as focus, the extension of the sun, being burned, up to the Vic taking the mom into the Crown Point, the area he lived before the floods.
I liked seeing Vic actually like throw hands a little bit with the son. That was a good punch he dropped on him. So that was cool to see, him actually getting dirty a little bit, and getting in there and fucking like doing some grunt work out in the streets, dropping some bows and shit. That was tight. I like that. The overall storyline of the episode is great. It's a great episode. Great storyline. This part of the episode is very entertaining. It's sort of a build-up, where you jump away from the Penguin to other characters in the show, kind of, Sophia. At this point, we've kind of split the series between Sophia and the Penguin. So, I enjoy her scenes. Her with her brother, right? Torturing him and all that shit. I kind of fell off a little bit with that deal. Like her whole deal with her brother kind of, bored me a little bit. But the overall, this part of the episode was still very entertaining. And like I said, I enjoyed I like Vic a lot. So anytime Vic is a part of the episode a lot, I like that. I like seeing Vic. I like that actor. I like him as a character. That's pretty much it. It was really disappointing seeing that the mushrooms all died, Like I felt their pain. You know what I mean? Like seriously. So much for the drug. There's no mushrooms now.
Yes. But until this end of the episode, they have hope. But we'll get to that. Poor mushrooms. They were cool. Red mushrooms, we call them. But anyway, let's see. So let's get into this. So, after that, we get the torture of Johnny, right? And then he explains that Sophie's mother, Isabel, was playing. Oh, it's funny. The mom is also named Isabel. Same character, also in Daryl Dixon, named Isabel. But anyway, that's not the point there. But anyway, was planning to leave Carmine. So basically, he reveals to Sophie that her mother was going to leave Carmine, but he could not due to the children, her and her brother, so eventually agreeing to support her desire to be the new head of the family. So Johnny agrees to help her gain the respect that she needs to get the support of the man, right? Then so while that happens, you also get her getting ready for the meeting that we see here, and then Dr. Rush, Sophie's therapist and former doctor from the Arkham Asylum, comes back in this episode, visits Sophie, and revealing that he knows she was involved with the gas leak, but nevertheless supports this decision, is willing to stay with her. So this is funny. So the doctor is now an evil doctor who supports her patient to kill her family. So that's basically it. So yeah, so she gets Johnny to set up a meeting, as I say before, with the last remaining henchman of the family, proclaiming that she's now taking over the business. When Johnny resists, Sophie shoots him in the head. This moment was great. Like, forever we wanted Johnny to die. I never liked Johnny. I hoped the Penguin was gonna kill him, but right away in this episode they finally kill him in such a spectacular way, like very like mafia way. So Sophie instantly kills him, shot in the head as usual. So that was really rewarding, and she declares that she's going to use the name, as I brought up earlier, Gigante, Gigante, her mother's maiden name, and offers them to share her father's money for their loyalty, which they accept, which is really, really cool. And then, I guess after that, let me stop here because we're gonna be wrapping up this episode. So, Jeff, you're next. So let me tell you this. So we're going up to Johnny being still tortured and explained to Sophie that her mom was going to leave Carmine, and then pretty much the end point is her killing him during the meeting where she's trying to get the other henchmen to follow her and doing the new name for her calling Gigante.
Sure. So I already talked about the torture stuff. Like I said, I fell off with it a little bit because it was a little boring.
Right.
But the meeting with all the henchmen and her killing Johnny was a great meeting, great scene. She just has great presence on screen. Anything she does on the show is entertaining. She's very entertaining as a character. So I loved seeing the Doctor come back to her. He's great. Like I like him as a character. I like the actor that portrays that character. I like him as a character, and so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. Like what his role ends up being with the family, with her, right? Because they're not together. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think they're together. So it'll be interesting to see what his role ends up being for the new Gigante family, right? That bag with the money was a little bit skimped. I thought it would be bigger than that, like more money, But
I mean, it was enough money. It was enough.
It was good to see the mother again. She is an interesting character, so it was good to see her again. And then when I saw that guy Squid when they went to the apartment, I'm like, okay, this guy Squid's gonna die. Like he's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not gonna survive. Nick's gonna end up killing him or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm out.
Awesome, Cyber. The whole meeting with Sophie and killing Johnny finally, which was rewarding. And that's the end point. Is after the whole henchmen take the money from her fathers.
All right, so this scene really is showing, Sophia really taking on becoming the new crime boss and becoming this new family runner, basically, kind of being the forefront, being what her father was, but in a completely different light. We get to see her kind of explain that she wants to do different things differently how her father did it. She wants to share the money unlike her father did. And, she explains that her father did all that kind of stuff and didn't give them the amount of money they should have done and stuff like that. And, Johnny is there and he kind of cooperating at first. And then we finally get his death, which was freaking awesome and just shows how ruthless Sophie is becoming, and showing how different she is than the character, she was that we started out with in that backstory 10 years ago. And so I think it really showed and proved that, don't fuck with her. Don't mess with her because she will kill you. And she did that with Johnny. And she kind of giving a example of what will happen to you if you don't listen to her and follow her instructions, basically. And I think that was a great example. I think that's why she kind of kept Johnny around to kind of get that across to the remaining people that were a part of the Falcons. And the fact that she decides to go with Gigante as their new name, which actually what's interesting about that is that actually is in the comic books. She has the name Gigante, but in the comics, it actually, she gets it from a new person she marries, and her new husband has the last name Gigante. And also, a lot of what's going on in this series with Sophia is inspired by The Long Halloween and one other Batman comic book run as well. That I forget what it was called, but this one is definitely one of those. The Long Halloween was kind of the main inspiration for this, which I thought was interesting to know. And so I think that's great that they, this series has been doing a really good job of incorporating a lot of the DC and, actual comic stuff into the show. And I've been loving that. And so when I read about the whole Gigante thing, I was like, oh, that's really cool to know. I enjoyed that. So I thought they did a good job there, incorporating her new name, having her become a new family, the Gigantes, and not having anything to do with the Falcone name. And, I think Sophia, once again, Christine Maloney did such a freaking fantastic job. Melody in this episode, once again, showing her acting chops and how good she has become throughout the series. And I think that was just done so well. And to comment on the mushroom sequence too, which I forgot to mention, that was interesting where all the mushrooms were basically dead except for those 2 buckets. I was really shocked. I was like, they just left and they seemed all alive. I'm like, what the hell happened? Was it because of the fire? I'm like, did they burn them by accident? Like, what the hell is going on here? And like, how he panics and everything, I thought was really, he's like, how am I supposed to do this now? And I thought that was really done by Colin Farrell too. But highlight of this section is Christine Miladi's performance as Sophia Gigante. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that she did a great job becoming this new kind of crime boss and, basically leading into kind of this final climactic, which we'll get into. It's really this portion of the episode really paves the way for what's to come. And I think that, this was a really great sequence and really a great part of the episode.
Yes, no, I agree. Yeah, the name came from the sequel to Batman the Long Halloween called Batman Dark Victory. That was where Sophie became the main villain in that story. If anyone read the sequel to that, of course, that's the book where Jeff Lowe and the late great Tim Sale reinvents the Robin origin story. So that's where the name Gigante came from. Which, yeah, I agree, Cyber. It was really cool how they taking the comics and trying to like revamp them into new and exciting way to tell these character stories into the live action stuff. And I thought the way they're using the name Gigante made a lot of sense in the narrative that they're doing with Sophie in the show, which is great. Yeah, so let's get into we're entering now the third and last part of this episode. So after this mini, we see again Sal in the cabin. He's hiding, and so Sophie finds him and offers him the partnership on plane to kill Oz and take over the city. That she got rid of the whole Falcone name and all that. She's telling her like, let's merge our families together to show the strength. Now the Maroons and now the new Gigante family will take over Gotham and meantime kill Oz at the same time. And then while this happens, Oz arrives at Victor's apartment. He tries to like console his mother. By the way, we haven't brought up his prostitute girl Eve. He's having some woman troubles this episode. He's trying to protect his girlfriend, his mom, right? And they're somewhat frustrated with Penguin. Obviously with Eve, she understands the game. If anyone's seen the another HBO show called The Wire, Armor White always say something like you always need to know to play the game, right? And she really knows how to play the game that's going on here. This whole mafia like gang war thing. She like tells Penguin that, look, you're in danger of my girls. Now that Sophie knows us, we're going to be reliable to you. And I don't want to go with you, Penguin, because I don't want you to have me like handling it on like because I'm a liability, basically, which Penguin's frustrated because you totally see something like a humanity to Penguin here in this episode where he does genuinely care about Eve and his mother. And going to the mother, the mother, she, he's happy that his mom has survived, still, safe, but, the mom is a little disappointed, the fact that she has to hide for her life, is kind of like really embarrassing. And obviously we get this hint that while Oz grew up, like he and his brothers grew up in this like, apartment complex as when they were growing up, and it's bringing some bad memories to her, which is sad. But she turns him down, and he goes over to Vic and he thanks Vic for saving her. You really see the friendship that the Vic and Penguin has. They truly care for each other. The fact that he say sorry to him because he went over and slept, but like Penguin say, no worries, kid, you at least saved my mom, putting her in this place. And we got really interesting dialogue here, like the brothers, throughout the show we know he has brothers. And I actually like this dialogue here. Great writing here. I really like this line. He say that what happened to his brothers, Vic asking, and he say the city took his brothers, meaning that they died because of either crime or something in the level what happened to the city, either work and all that, like probably took a toll on them and they probably died that way. Just like the flood killed, Victor's brother. So very interesting dialogue confirming that his brothers are not alive, which is really sad. After that, Penguin opens like this kind of like dollar, like a pennies kind of bottle. He sees one particularly. He has a like finds a old trolley token in the house. He takes Victor to Comcaham to an abandoned underground trolley station where he visits in his childhood. So Oz turns on the lights, and he sees now this is a new opportunity here where he's using the station as the base for his mushroom operation, because as he's talking to Vic, the human heat there and the darkness will help make the mushrooms grow. So now he has this new drug operation here, and we end the episode there. So let's see. I start with Jeff. Cyber. Just Cyber. So tell me your whole opinion about this last part of this episode, up to Sal beating Sophie, teaming up, and then up to the whole abandoned train station they were at.
So the conclusion of the episode is really interesting. The fact that we have Oz have Vic take his mom somewhere so that they can't find them because he's worried about them trying to go after her. And of course, he takes her to his old place where he lived prior to the tidal wave from Riddler's explosions. And, we get kind of the idea of like, how the mom kind of grew up. She mentions some things that are, like, oh, she lived in a similar place when she had her kids and stuff like that. We also get, of course, the coupling or doing of Maroni and Gigante, and her going to Maroni to basically get a partnership with them so that they're not a war anymore and that they could go up against Cobblepot and take him out and basically work together. Which I was mentioning this as I was watching the episode. I crack up why Sophia is so mad at Oz when he mentioned something to her father, but it was her father 100% that made her go to Arkham and be stuck there for 10 years. Oz had nothing to do with that. That's not Oz's fault. And so her like vendetta against Oz cracks me up through this whole situation. And it's like, yeah, I get Oz is trying to, one up you and try to take, his own, become the mastermind of Gotham. But same time, it's nothing personal. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with he wants to have all the power. just like all the other, places and stuff like that. But her vendetta cracks me up, and I just always laugh at that, how she's so mad to want to kill Oz. It's like, you have a lot bigger fish to fry, Sophia, that you should be worried about, especially your partnership you're trying to do here. But I think that was interesting that she decided to want to join and work with Maroni. I thought that was a very interesting take and advancement of the story. And, of course, we have the reveal of the new drug place that they're going to grow the mushrooms, which I thought was really cool. It very much dungeon-like, very under the ground type of deal. It makes me think a lot of where like the Penguin and Batman Returns was living. Danny DeVito at the old, amusement park, but it was very underground. Gave me very much Penguin vibes. It gives me that type of, where the Penguin would have a, secret, lair or something like that. So very much felt like that. And I thought that was like super cool. And I really enjoyed that he, found this place, and it looked very cool and very well done. They had it generated and everything. And it was a perfect place to be able to, continue their empire and, keep moving forward to become the kingpins of Gotham. So I thought it was a really strong ending. Can't wait to see what happens in the next episode. Really fun. Lots of great, dialogue, lots of great action. All around, just a really fantastic ending to this episode.
Yeah, no, I agreed. From Batman Returns, the layer, but it also reminds me of the Batman with the new Batcave that Bart Hansen has. Like his Batcave there, it's under Wayne Tower, and it's based on like a train, like an old train station that his Wayne Tower is underneath. So it's cool to how they're paralleling Penguin to Batman a little bit here. Yeah. So yeah, Jeff, what's your opinion on the whole conclusion of this episode? Do you like it? What's your thoughts, sir? Of course, he's gonna do that. Oh, it's been a long time seeing this clip. I mean, look at that third guy here. He's ready, fast, done. Right there. He's winning the part there. He's getting pants up. Bam.
Those other guys are pounding on those chicks, bro. They're pounding on them.
I'm a little concerned. That's like I'm a little concerned about that. Oh my god. But hey, he's winning.
They're going to kill me. I told them to send me a video holding an object and start nodding.
Anything is a dildo when you really put your mind to it. There's no such thing as too large or too sharp. Every time you stop to question yourself, I want you to tell yourself, I can, and I will.
They're going to kill me.
Just go. Just tell me your opinion on the conclusion. Okay? Go now.
I would pay good money to watch that chick put that water bottle up inside of her.
Oh my god. Just go, please. Just tell me your opinion. That's all I want to know. That's it.
So I really dug the whole deal with the Penguin and Vic going into the tunnels. I love watching mining and like caving YouTube videos. I love those videos. So I love tunnels. I love seeing videos of people going through tunnels underneath cities and stuff like that. I love I love exploration videos. So I felt like between that, like them going through those tunnels, and then them showing that TikTok video earlier in the episode was cool too. I like that too. Penguin showed that TikTok video was cool. I loved the whole vibe of that, them going down the tunnels. And it is a great place to grow mushrooms. It would be a great place to grow mushrooms, I would imagine. So that was really cool. And I don't know what to make of the merging of the two families. As crime families. I don't know what to make of that against the Penguin. We'll have to see what happens with episode 6 with that. It seems like that's a lot against the Penguin. You know, like a lot of it. Adversity, a lot of adversity against him. So yeah, great episode. Great ending. Sophia looks great. I love how you can see her titties all the time. You know, when she's wearing that outfit, it's dope. So okay, USA on that shit.
Good, happy, like your opinion. Yeah, that's spectacular. All right, what's your rating on this episode 5, sir?
Oh, it's definitely a 9.5 without question. Good episode, really well done. Really great filler episode.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Cyber, your rating.
I give it a solid 10. I definitely think that it's a really entertaining episode, really well done, really enjoyable, and it entertained me. So I have to give it a 10.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll give this 10 out of Penguin biting a man's nose. Best episode ever, if you understand that reference from Batman Returns. Yeah, fantastic episode. I think, again, it's giving great. I mean, this show has been so great, strength to strength. These episodes have been consistent, haven't fallen apart, which is great. So I'm always excited to see their episodes on Sundays and talk about it on Mondays, and that still hasn't dropped, which is great. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us for the Penguin episode 5. We'll be back again Monday report on episode 5 with Cyber and
episode
Jeff.
6.
Yeah. Oh, episode. Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you. Episode 6. Mr. Jeff. True man. Yes. Anyway, that was lame. True. Nobody. Nobody. Mr. Jeff. Nobody. Anyway. So, Jeff. Fuck you, motherfucker. Anyway, that's all I had to say. No worries. I'll be back tomorrow. For more action. Anyway, just Jeff. Plug us, please. Let's move on to Daryl Dixon.
So, all right, Cyber, we're gonna send you off, brother. We appreciate you, man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enjoy, fellas. Enjoy the viewers out there listening to them talk about Daryl Dixon, season 2, episode 4.
Thank you, sir.
And of course,
we appreciate you.
Of course, always, you can find me under Cyberneticshark. Go find it on YouTube, folks.
Yes, please support Cyber, please. He's the man.
Have a good evening, guys.
Good night. Bye
All right,
bye.
Cyber. All right, Daryl Dixon, baby.
Oh God, it's just the two of us. We're through. Anyway, I'm still Margaret, guys. So, yeah, Daryl Dixon. Jeff, let's play. Let's play Last and Loose to this episode discussion. What's your thoughts on this episode? You thought this was better than last week? What's your opinion on episode 4 of this show?
Yeah, I think it was better than last week. So I'll probably rate it higher than I did last week. There was definitely some like, you know, some minuses in episode 3. There was definitely some aspects of it that I thought were a little bit subpar, you know, where things could have been done a little bit differently, or it was just a little bit boring. Maybe the episode was at times. This episode was a lot more exciting, and I enjoyed it. I like Daryl Dixon. I like The Walking Dead, and this is what we have left. You know, this is not The Walking Dead. Like it says, The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. You know, it's a long title. The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. You know, the Book of Carol, right? But this is not The Walking Dead. I watched The Walking Dead when The Walking Dead was like peak Walking Dead, like you know, peak Walking Dead, prime Walking Dead. I watched The Walking Dead during like the peak of Walking Dead, right? And like that show was sick. It was a sick fucking show to watch. right? You didn't mind watching it. You didn't mind waiting every week to go on TV, to go on the TV and watch the episode, right? To watch The Walking Dead because it was like that good. You know, like it was a cliffhanger every week. It was a cliffhanger. Like every week it was a cliffhanger. This show, especially this season, is not cliffhanger like type material every episode. It's not like that. I feel like honestly so far, Andreas, I feel like season 2 is not as good as season 1.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. We're gonna have 2 more episodes, and I kind of agree with you, Jeff. It's not as good as first season. I mean, it's kind of crazy. They kill off literally half of the first season's cast in this episode, so it's like it started to become more of like Daryl's show and Carol, which we'll get into this episode. Let me start here, discussing this. The deaths. I mean, we have 2 major deaths here: Isabel and of course the main villain, Durant. Let's start with Isabel. Isabel. And so obviously, if people haven't seen this episode, Isabel's been tortured by the Nets people, right? And I think one of the Nets people stabbed her in the stomach.
What's his name? Lasange or whatever stabbed her.
Yeah, Lasange, right? And I hate that guy now. I want him to be killed next episode, very soon. She got stabbed, and she meets up with Carol, and and she tells her that she's here for the American person, she knows from America. And after that, Carol meets up with Daryl, and then Daryl sees Isabel, and they say their goodbyes, and of course Isabel tells her to take care of Laurent, and she dies. So, like, what's your point? Like, I'm kind of sad that she died. Like, this was probably one of the saddest Walking Dead deaths in a while.
It wasn't a very good death. Not very
really?
Good.
Okay.
No, it wasn't done very well. The guy Solange or whatever.
Yeah.
He didn't look very good stabbing her. It didn't look very good.
Yeah.
And what a shitty way to die. Getting stabbed and then having to walk all the way down there to, like she did. Like I felt bad for her. She's walking around by herself and shit, stabbed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it was depressing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was not fun to watch.
No,
I did not enjoy it. I liked Isabel. She's a good character. I thought in season 1 she was great character in season 1. In season 2 not so much.
No. She barely had anything to do this season, just besides developing the relationship with Daryl. But then that's it. Like, it was just nothing. Yeah. It was really, it was just sad. It's almost similar to Sylvie and Loki season 2. You know how we like Sylvie and Loki season 1, and because she had a lot to do in that first season, and then season 2 of Loki, she barely had anything to do, and like she was just kind of there, being so Isabel was much better in season 2. Like she wasn't like grumpy or like very negative like Sylvie was in Loki season 2. But I was kind of shocked that they got rid of her, because you could have kept Isabel here to be part of the Carol and Daryl like team up, to fight Laurent. So I was kind of
Sylvie in season 1 of Loki was seriously she was much better in season 1 than in season 2.
Yeah.
The reason I got the poster of Sylvie in my room is because of season 1. You know what I'm saying? Not because of season 2. I did not like the way they handled that at all. I thought season 2 of Loki was not that good.
No. I personally like season 1 better. And same thing here with Daryl. Like season 2 is not as good as the first season, and there's reason why. I mean, first season was all about Daryl trying to get back to America, right? Like, it was such a simple story to tell in that first 6 episodes, and you look at this season, right? You're trying to get Carol to get to meet Daryl. Apparently, this is something I saw news today for this episode. Apparently, the meetup for Daryl and Carol actually was moved up to this episode. It was supposed to be later in either maybe the end of the episode. So I kind of glad they did it. I don't know what's your opinion on this, Jeff. I kind of glad they did it because I didn't want to wait too long for them to meet up. But at the same time, I kind of felt like they sacrificed that to get rid of some people from season 1, and I didn't like that.
I didn't feel like super enthralled or like super blown away that Daryl and Carol met up again. You know, like okay. Daryl and Carol were together on The Walking Dead forever. You know, like
yeah.
So like, I mean, you know, I wasn't like, oh my God, crying because like they came together, you know, but I was glad that they went ahead and got it out of the way, you know, and like the whole them storming the nest and all that like ended up being kind of pathetic. Like it was kind of it wasn't all that great, you know, like they used the cannon to blow the hole in the wall. And that was it. I wanted to see more of the cannon, you know?
Yeah. Well, and you know what was funny? Like they killed a couple of people to make those super zombies, right? And there were not even enough zombies to invade that castle. Like I was like surprised. Like
and they didn't even kill those people with that chain gun. A lot of them didn't even get like barely even got hit. You know, like they weren't dead.
Yeah, I know. It's really funny. Yeah, so that was really funny.
Some of it was far-fetched. Some of the shit was far-fetched in this episode.
Yeah. How does Karan still alive? Like I just can't believe he went back to kill all the zombies.
I don't know. I watched the end of the episode stuff, the highlights for the next episode, and he's alive. So yeah,
I was laughing my butt up. That Karan.
I was like, what the fuck when he just took off and he was like, tell Daryl it's for the boy or whatever. You know, I'm like, what? Like, how does that make any sense?
Yeah. Well,
I wanted to see Carol and Kudran together.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, that could have been awesome.
I thought that would have been a good mix, you know?
Yeah. Like it could have been awesome, like double like action with Karan and Carol like fighting off the nest soldiers, but also dealing with the zombies, right? The walkers. Yeah, they didn't do that. That was a missed opportunity.
And why would he know? Like, why would he do that anyway? Like, why would he just sacrifice himself like that? Like, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, again, he's not being used correctly this season. Like, we're barely using Karan this season compared to last season. Like, I don't know. So it's again same thing with Loki season 2. Is like they're like misusing some characters and they're just focusing on the new characters, you know, or like the existing characters that we saw. And
yeah, like, most definitely. I would like to have seen Kudron have like more screen time in this episode. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Janae, and like, you know, like killing off Janae, like, it's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so, okay, let's get to Janae now. So, Janae has been an awesome villain. I like her death. Now, let me say, I like how she died. I like
her death. Oh, yeah, her death was great.
Yeah, her death was great, but I didn't like how she, like, they got rid of her like that. Like I think they could have been more of like a satisfying kill, but like I like how her death was. But I don't know.
Yeah, I enjoyed having her as the overarching villain in the show.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense. I guess I think her death deserves. I think it just made a lot of sense with the story they're trying to do here. I mean, at least the Nest was now evil and they're crazy, so at least we got that. So I kind of like how they.
What was up with the couple, the old couple, like that whole deal? Yeah. That was a big chunk of the episode. Was that part? You know, and yeah. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, hurry up! You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like Laurent is running away. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's true. I like the old couple. I mean, I didn't like the guy. Like the guy ran out them and like called Ron and all that, and like he accidentally killed his wife in the action. So, I mean, it was so stupid. It wasn't as bad as like the farm thing in season 2 of Walking Dead. I thought this was better, but yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and this whole deal where they keep like having Carol revisit her daughter and all that shit. I don't
Oh,
I don't like that. I don't like it.
really? I like it because we barely talked about that in the original Walking Dead. Like we never really like say that was like a big trauma for her to lose her daughter. I like it how they did it in episode 1 of season 2. You know, the premiere. But I agree with you. This part was maybe kind of silly, but I didn't mind that. I thought it was good, but I didn't need the old lady to be in that scene. That's the thing. Like I think she should have been with someone that she recognized to deal with that trauma, not some random chick from French, you know, in Paris. But I don't know. It's just
I know. And then they got the card from the guy with the dementia or whatever, you know.
yeah. It was you know what's your favorite photo? But my favorite the funniest thing was the old guy when they were coming down to his house. He's saying hello to those like walkers that were locking the fence in those old houses that were passing. That was so funny. Hello, Jivon. Hello, you know. They were these like waving to these walkers.
Now, those walkers were cool looking, but this show is not shot like The Walking Dead was. You know what I'm saying? Like
No.
it's not shot as well.
Nah. I don't know.
The walkers are not as scary as they used to be on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, well, I wish that they used more of the walkers that they introduced us to the first season of Daryl Dixon. You know, the burners and the more super soldiers. Like, we need more of that. Like, I feel like they were cool, and I like the designs they did with those creatures. I feel like that's been kind of missing for this season too.
I didn't like the ending with like Solange like teaming up with Janae's team crew or whatever. You know, like I didn't like that.
Yeah, I was hoping her friend take over the whole operation and killed the Nest people. So why, when you want to team up with the church people, like I don't know, I agree with you. I did it.
Why do they want Laurent so bad? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and he's not going to be immune to the bite from the walker. Like, how they know that? Like, that doesn't make sense. It's like, we'll see. I mean, they're just going to be flawed kills. Yeah. It was like very weird. Like I personally think just continue on Duran's army and just kill off the Nest army. I can't believe that Saran is surviving. Like still, it's like, oh my god, come on, this guy. It's just like, yeah, buddy. You know what's crazy? We got 2 more episodes of Daryl Dixon, and that's kind of crazy to me.
I know.
Yeah.
I know the series has gone really fast.
Yeah, I gotta say, this year, because this year people should know that we got 2 Walking Dead shows. You know, obviously we had The One to Live and this show. I personally preferred The One to Live. I thought that show was so much better than this season 2. Unfortunately, I know that the ending for The One to Live were kind of rushed, as we discussed in the recap on the Monday reports, but I personally think they stick the landing. So I'm kind of curious how this show is going to stick the landing for the season 2. You know, but yeah,
I hear you. It's been a little bit of a drop off this season. It really has.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of expected. I mean, because you're bringing Carol in and you're trying to like, you know, sober into the show that they established in season 1. I mean, I don't know. It could have been gone other ways. I think you could have like continue on the storyline from first season, and then slowly integrate Carol into the season. But I don't know. I think there's just too much storylines going on this season 2. You know.
Yeah. You know, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's still 2 episodes left. So,
Yeah.
like the show still has a chance, to wrap up well for the season.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's so one of the good positive things is having Daryl and Carol together. So I think those two episodes will be much more focused because we have now those two heroes from The Walking Dead being together again, which is great, and they still have chemistry, which is great. I mean, like even I like the funny scene where they're trying to try to restart the car, and she's like saying these things, and then they go back and forth. That was very funny. So I think now them being the leads for these next two episodes is going to be more fun and exciting. Yeah. So I think the cool thing, and plus,
they still have good chemistry. They do. It took a while this episode for that chemistry to come together. Like it didn't happen automatically. It took a while for it to come together, but it did. And it was cool seeing them reminisce. Like of course that's one of the coolest parts is them talking about the Walking Dead stuff, right? But I'm looking forward to episode 5.
Yeah. No, I do. I'm very excited for episode 5. I think hopefully we're gonna see again the club that we saw from first season. Laurent's former father's club. And very curious how they're gonna ramp up the whole Ness storyline, and because we're gonna get a third season, so I'm kind of curious what we're gonna take with these two characters. Or are they gonna go back to America? Like that's the big question. Like I am kind of curious. Or
I hope they do it. I love that. It'd be cool.
Yeah, because
they must have plans for something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they killed off Isabel. They killed off Janae,
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so let's kind of wrap up here. What's your rating for episode 4, and and overall thoughts on the show?
I'll give it a 7.5. It was an entertaining episode, but it had its faults. I'll put it. Yeah. That's all I'll say. Is it had its low points.
Yeah. I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. I think it's decently good. I think it's better than last week's episode. But yeah, nothing too fussed to say about. I mean, I'm happy that Carol and Daryl are back again, and I like the idea of Laurent coming back to America. I think that would be a good addition to the Walking Dead franchise. If he survives, that's the thing. Do you think we were going to see Laurent again surviving, or do you think they're going to do like a Sophie thing where Laurent is dead and it's like could be zombified? I don't know. We'll see how they rescue Laurent. But yeah. That's and my so anything else to say before we plug out from the show?
No, sir. I'm good. Let's plug out.
Yeah, let's plug out. Thank you everyone for joining us for the Monday report for the Penguin episode 5 and Daryl Dixon episode 4 of season 2. So yeah, Andreas Polkochkai. I just recently posted my Alien vs Predator Fire and Stone Part 3. Yesterday I put out my Daredevil 60th anniversary tribute. Check that out. Tomorrow I'm gonna put out my Predator movie tribute to continue my 12 days of Halloween. And yeah, this week I got a live stream review on pop culture recap on all the shows I'm watching with the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. So I'm gonna talk about Aftergod Online episode 6 this week, and Penguin episode 5 this week, and then Daryl Dixon episode 4, and then Super and Lois episode 3. And this Sunday, the 27th, I'm going to have Heathers with Jeff, Cyber, and hopefully Aston. And then, for the Halloween week. So thank you, everyone. Please support my channel and hit that like button.
Okay, we'll see you on Wednesday for Agatha episode 7.
Oh yeah, episode 7. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's crazy. Even that show's wrapping up next week. My god.
What movie do we have on Friday?
Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down. Oh man, that's gonna be a good watch.
Yeah. I'll talk to you after the show, but yes, good movie. Is that really Scott who directed that or Tony Scott? I'm
Ridley Scott, I think.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, very iconic movie. Everyone talks about that movie quite a bit. Yeah.
All right, folks. God bless you. We'll see you on Wednesday. Peace.
What? Anything for a meal?